Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. It's been a while. Life has been incredibly difficult and frustrating, and I've been going through some personal things, and I still kind of am, but I figure that I need to make an effort. So, if you're new here, please subscribe, please turn on post notifications. So guys, without further ado, I bring you the best sequels that were as good or better than the original. So my pick for the best sequel that was as good or better than the original was Saw 2. Saw 1 took a very, almost like, let's say the movie 7 with Brad Pitt and Morgan Freeman, very much a detective approach with a lot of spookiness and scares, while Saw 2 just went a completely different direction. It still kept the mystery of what made Jigsaw Jigsaw and why he was motivated and what motivated him, but it amped up the violence, it amped up the tension, it amped up the gore. In addition, it amped up the stakes. The whole film is a race against time, and it's done so well. It's easily a sequel that beats the original, to the point that the original doesn't even feel like what Saw turns out to be. And yes, I know, there's a point where Saw becomes something entirely, and people are like, what Saw anyway? It's not even what it used to be. True, but the first film tends to share the least amount of identification to the rest of the series as opposed to the second. I almost feel like you can argue that the second film in the Saw franchise is so fantastic that the second film might be the true first Saw film. And then, of course, like we said, you know, it gets weird, but it's fantastic. Guys, please check out all my other collaborators in this video. Follow them on Instagram. Thank you to everyone that collaborated with me on this video. I appreciate everyone. Hope everyone has a happy Thanksgiving.
Good evening, everyone. My name is Mary Misery, and my favorite sequel that I recommend you watch is Underworld Evolution. And now for those of us who don't necessarily remember too much about this franchise, let me tell you all about it. The war between vampires and werewolves has raged on for centuries. Celine is a vampire soldier known as a death dealer and is loyal to her clan. Celine learns the truth about vampires. They betray her, and her own clan turns against her. Celine alone holds the key to saving their future and the future of our world. This film has everything. It has action, vampires, a rich storyline, and Kate Beckinsale in a skin-tight latex bodysuit and a corset and these huge boots and it's tight. And she kicks major vampire and werewolf booty like this. Hi, what's your name? Mr. Death Breath? Nice to meet you. Oh, here, you dropped this. Yes, you were saying something about something? Death Breath? Can you spell that for me so I could write it on your bullet? In my eyes, this film has gone truly unappreciated for far too long, and it's about time it got the recognition that it's due. And so I strongly urge all of you to give it a watch. Enjoy.
Oh, hey, how's it going? So, movie sequels, horror genre. If I can describe a film like The Evil Dead 2 in one word or less, it would be groovy. Anyway, why is Evil Dead 2 better than The Evil Dead? For many reasons. They introduce comedy into the film. They blend that with horror, and it worked like a charm. Okay, it's gorier. It's action-packed, a hell of a lot more action than the first one. Especially one specific scene. It involves a chainsaw and a hand. I'm not gonna spoil everything, but if you haven't seen the movie, please do. Awesome acting. There's just so much good shit in this film that it just surpasses the original in every way. Bruce Campbell. How can you forget the iconic chainsaw that is brought into this film? And the shotgun, and all the crazy stuff with the monsters and the deadites, you know, it's amazing. It's amazing. I forgot to say that. But you know what? Evil Dead 2, classic. Check it out if you haven't. Right now. Stop what you're doing and...
Hi, I'm Sammy.
I'm Mandy.
And this is our unpopular opinion that we think that Dr. Sleep is better than its prequel, The Shining.
But I don't want to throw hate on The Shining. Great movie, different time, so let's give it that, okay?
So the reason why I think it's better is because, for one, I think it's a better story. I've read the book. And they explain, in my opinion, a lot of stuff that wasn't explained in The Shining. For example, my favorite scene in Doctor Sleep is when they go back and visit the Overlook.
Okay. So, I never read the book, but I read The Shining, so cool. My favorite scene of Doctor Sleep, obviously the movie, would be, as messed up as it sounds, I really enjoyed them doing their thing when they captured the baseball kid. I know it's really screwed up, but it's real and it's raw, and that's what I like, so.
Yes, you do.
So that's our thing.
Hey everyone, it's Anna Ace here. Mr. Deathbreath, thank you again for having me. When asked what my favorite sequel to an original horror film is, of course I'm gonna say Halloween 2 of 1981. It is directed by Rick Rosenthal. It was written by both Deborah Hill and John Carpenter. This film, despite the 3-year gap in between the two films, is seamless. It picks up right off from the first film. I feel like the director paid a really beautiful homage to the first film with the opening scene, where we see Michael stalking, doing what he does best. If you've seen both films, or even the first one, you know what I'm talking about. Speaking of Michael Myers, he is portrayed by Dick Warlock in this film. He really made the character his own. He picked up on all these key elements that were really laid down by Mr. Nick Castle in the first film and tweaked it a little bit. He made him a little bit more aggressive and creepy. Same thing goes with the mask. I'm a big fan of the mask. You know, he's got these markings and dust, dirt, all that grime that really shows like his progression as a character. And it's funny that it's portrayed just within the mask. It's kind of like the lightest part of Michael Myers as a character, and I feel like that's where all it could read. Anyways, I can go on and on. But this film, a lot of emotion and, you know, hurt comes to light in this film. It shows the effects that Michael Myers' destruction had on all these characters in this little town, and it kind of hits, you know. This film is a great one. If you haven't seen it, I suggest that you do. There are two scenes in this film that no matter how many times I've seen it, my heart still races. A combination of what's going on in the film, the music choice, and just the acting. Just thinking about it right now, my heart's like skipping beats. But anyways, 1, when they're in the basement, and 2, when Laurie's out in the parking lot. Because the Halloween Kills wasn't released this year, I'm gonna say that this film is still valid, even though the first one that was released in 2018 kind of wiped everything clean. I feel like if you do watch this film, you might get a little bit of an indication of what Halloween Kills is gonna be like based on, you know, released footage, released pictures of behind the scenes, and I feel like we might see a couple Easter eggs from this one and the original 1978 one. Thank you again, and I highly suggest going and seeing the first one immediately followed by the second one. It does not disappoint.
Hey everybody, this is Mario Lopez with One Eye Open Productions, and today I'm going to share my review and give some love for a rock star slash filmmaker, Rob Zombie. His first debut film, actually, A House of a Thousand Corpses, I actually loved. Very fun, entertaining type of film. You felt like you were actually going on a haunt with the cast and characters. And it created an iconic clown character, Captain Spaulding, as we all know. Now, move forward, I felt like the sequel, The Devil's Rejects, I feel like Rob Zombie really improved on his filmmaking skills. That alone made it just as good or better, but he then also, this film had a lot more action, a lot more grit, it was a lot more dirty, And basically, they came out guns blazing. You're immediately involved in the film from the get-go. And so that, along with some other key characters, such as the sheriff, I felt like really, really drove this one over the top and made it that much better than the original. Along with, again, Captain Spaulding had another amazing lines when he comes involved with a mom and her child and taking the vehicle, and then the kid's staring at him scared. He says, "What's the matter, kid? Don't you like clowns? Don't we make you laugh? Aren't we freaking funny?" I think that was amazing. And just those classic lines in itself make that film so amazing, The Devil's Rejects. So once again, I loved both films, but I felt Devil's Rejects was that much better.
Hi, this is Ronnie from One Eye Open Productions, and today I'm here to talk about Scream 2 and how it matches up to the original. First off, the original, to me, was a classic, one of my favorite horror films ever. Thought it brought some new originality to horror, while at the same time paying homage to some of the great slasher films that we grew up with. And the big thing was when they were doing a sequel, of course I wanted to see it, but I was like, where are they going to take this? How can you justify it instead of just replicating what you did in the first one? So second one starts off, you're at the theater, Jada Pinkett Smith, Omar Epps are there to see Stab, which is the film based off of Gail Weathers' book on the Woodsboro murders, and chaos ensues. It's crazy at the theater what happens, and that sets it off. Transitions over to Sydney and where her life is now and what's happening with her. She's got new friends, a new boyfriend. We see what's happening with Randy, Gail Weathers, and Dewey, and the dynamic of their friendships now, or lack thereof. And what they did really well in this, Kevin Williamson, gotta credit him on the writing, is he really kind of upped the ante by developing the characters more, as well as the story more. Extended it, better kills, a little bit more gory, not too much, but the intensity was amped up too. One scene I loved was a scene where Sydney and her friend are in the back of a police car. I'm not going to say why this happens, but Ghostface is driving, crashes the car, gets knocked out in the front seat, and when he crashed the car, they're up against a wall. The girls can't get out from the back seat. Only way out is to jump over into the front seat. Again, can't get out on the passenger side because they're next to a wall. Only way out is to cross over to the driver's side, cross over Ghostface's lap and out the window. This was the most intense scene, and the way it was filmed was brilliant. Very exciting. I won't tell you what happens, but that was my favorite scene in the film. The ending was great because, once again, another great twist, and I felt that they did justify the reasoning to have this all start again and where they wanted to take it. So, thought it was a great film, a great sequel, not better than the first, but I thought it came up to the same level as the original. Really enjoyed it. If you haven't seen it, go check it out. If you've seen it and it's been a while, check it out again. So that's my take on Scream 2.
Hey Ron, that's a dope shirt, dude. Let's check it out. Hell yeah, man.
Stalker.
Hell yeah, dude.